What's up, everybody? This is your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. Today's gonna be my first video in Ableton Live 9. Sweet. So it's gonna be a really good one, a really fun one. Like I said, I want to start doing these videos because I said I am moving over to Ableton Live, and I want to be able to take you guys along with me in the journey. Hopefully, help people out who are either just beginning in Ableton Live, want to learn Ableton Live, or just want to try something new and just see how it operates, see if it's even worth trying out or switching over. So hopefully, it's help people out, and also people who already use Ableton Live. Hopefully, I can be the guy to make videos more along the line of, trap, rap, R&B stuff in Ableton Live. Because I know a lot of you guys see a lot of EDM stuff in Ableton Live, but Ableton Live is definitely very powerful and very great for doing urban style of music. And hopefully I can show you guys exactly how to do that and help you guys out along the way. So yeah. Hope it's fun. So basically what this series is going to be about is pretty much going through the basic steps from beginning to end on how to use Ableton Live. So basically, I'm going to show you guys how to get set up with Ableton Live. I'm going to give you an overview of Ableton Live and what it all does and everything like that. And, show you automation, recording, adding MIDI, effects, all that good stuff. It kind of just show you guys how to do that, the mixer and, exporting and all that good stuff in Ableton Live to help you guys out and, hopefully you guys get a grasp with it, because it's not really a bad DAW, but it's very different in its own way, and I think a lot of people get scared of that. So let's jump right into it and start the video, me rambling on right now. So when you start up Ableton Live, this is what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get, all your effects. I'm sure I get your effects and all that, but you're gonna get pretty much the basic stuff. It's probably gonna be like this. And it's gonna show you this. And a lot of people, when they see this, they automatically like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is. I'm lost. I don't wanna do it. Bump this. I'm going back to FL Studio or whatever else they're using. But I know a lot of you guys are used to seeing this view right here, which is the basic sequencer right there. When it opens like this is actually the mixer. This is the mixer. As you can see, if you bring this up right here, now it looks like a traditional mixer, right? But when it's small like this, you don't know what's going on or what to expect. So there you go. And I hit tab to do that. So that's the tab button, or you can just hit the little button up here. But we're gonna get into more of that later. So don't be scared just because it is a standard DAW in its own right. So first off, we're gonna go to options, because I said this is actually getting set up with Ableton Live. So we're gonna go to our preferences. We're gonna get our preferences set up for you guys, so you guys are ready to rock and roll and start, making your hot beats and selling all your beats and all that, making money like always. So you have different tabs. I'm gonna go through each individual tab except the license tag, because you guys need to see my license. And yeah, and just pretty much show you guys how to get it set up to be ready. So look and feel is the first tab. Now what that is basically, it is basically getting a look and the way we look at it. I'm gonna go through each individual part and the way we want to. So first you got your language, of course. So if you speak English, go English. If you're Spanish, you speak Spanish, French, Italian, Japanese, which is pretty cool. Pick your language and rock with it. Challenge you to pick a different language you don't know and try to make music in it. Send me a video, a screenshot. That'd be dope. Don't make the beat first in English and then switch it over. So yeah, choose your language. Pretty cool. You got the do not show warning. You can, I don't pretty much know that you click this will re-enable the display of all warning dialogue. So if you do something, I guess it'll be like, you sure you want to do something like that? And also this little window right here is very helpful. You can actually minimize it, but it's like the little help window. I keep it open at all times because it just helps me out. If I forget something, I can hover over stuff and it tells me exactly what it is and what it does. So if you just want to jump straight into it, just jump into it and just hover over everything, and it'll, tell you what it is right here. You got your follow behavior, so how things scroll across in the mixer channel. You can, have it scroll, you can page up, that kind of stuff, pretty cool. You can hide the labels if you want to. So if you don't want the labels of the information in your mixer channels and all that, you can hide them. Allow sleep mode. If you need to put on sleep mode, you can. Allow multi-interest. I think let's see, enables preferences to allow multiple interests in live applications and run simultaneously. So I'm guessing that means like, dual monitor. So I gotta do more research on that, but I left it off, so I don't really mess with it. But it's there. Try it out, see what it does. Permanent scrub areas, you can do that. So that's pretty cool. Which basically, when enabled, the lower portion of the beat time ruler and both clips are arranged in the scrub area. When disabled, hold shift to scrub through your beats in the time ruler. So basically, you can hold it to scrub, or it scrubs by itself, which is pretty cool. Which is nice. You got your zoom display, so you can have your display zoom in like freaking big if you got a 4K monitor, or if you don't have a big monitor, you can have it super small like this, which if you got super eagle eyes, that's kind of crazy, but We're gonna leave mine back at 100% because I have a 1080p monitor. So that's great. That's great if you have different resolution monitors. You can definitely make it bigger or smaller to fit your monitor. So like I said, if you got a 4K monitor, you can actually scale it up so that it's not so small and everything, it fits your screen perfectly. So that's great. It's kind of like the ability in FL Studio, how it's vector based, and you can stretch it to fit however you want. Auto arrange colors, so you can either let it pick your colors by itself, which I leave on, or you can select, the color your tracks yourself, depending on how it is. Your default track color, you can always pick your own colors, which, they have all the colors of the rainbow and some other muted colors, stuff like that, and washed out colors. So, do what you gotta do there. You can have the clip color, so you can have colored tracks, random, whatever, up to you. Just like that. That's basically a preference thing. Now the colors is basically, the way your thing looks, or basically how the DAW looks. So I have it on default, but it has different colors like default. I think this is Live 8. This is what Ableton 8 used to look like. You have this color, which is kind of a greenish color. You have clay. You have cloud, which I don't like that. Disco, which, holy shit. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be my new color right there. But there's frost, light gray, that one, monolith, and oh god no. I'm leaving it on disco because fuck, that looks amazing. Can't lie. Yeah, that's my new color. Yeah, so there you go. Next up, so you just picture your skin color. So that's pretty cool if you want to have it looking the way you want to look. You have your brightness, which if I got mine up to, it looks like 40 more percent, but you can make it super bright, super dark, up to you. For this one, I might need to leave it on 200% just to help me out. You can choose the color intensity, so you can have it like super duper intense or not at all. And then when you change the intensity, you can actually change the hue. So you can strobe party, rave party up in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? You can actually make it whatever color you want. So that's pretty cool right there if you want to, play around and kind of get your own little custom feel. It's good to have that right there so that way you can, customize it to your liking and your taste. That way it's more pleasing to working because your DAW looks the way you want it to look. You're going to work more efficiently and better in it because you want to work in it. So that's good. Just like, having skins for FL Studio, it just gives you that mindset of, I'm going to make, money and beats. Anyway, moving along. We have multi-plugin windows, which basically means you can have multiple windows. Your plugin pops up, more than one window. Auto hide plugin window. Now you can auto hide your stuff if you want to, which means if you click another plugin, it hides it. I got it on, but I might turn it off later. That's up to you. Auto open plugin in the custom editor. So when you're editing it down here, it automatically opens it up, blah, blah, which we'll get into that later down the road. So that's basically the look and feel portion right there. Let's get to the audio engine. So this is what you guys want to know. Now, basically, like I said, same as FL Studio, and this and any DAW at that. So you have your audio device. So whatever audio device you're using, if you're using ASIO, you can pick ASIO or Direct, which is your computer or CPUs. I'm using ASIO because I have an interface, and most of you guys will as well. I hope you got an interface. You don't, then save your money up, guys. Stop buying Jordans. So yeah, audio device. I'm using ASIO Link because that's, my choice of audio device because it allows me to stream and record without problems. But if you don't have that, you can use whatever your default is. Like mine would be the Sapphire, or if you're still using ASIO for all, guess what? There it is. So you can use it there. And there's also the FL Studio ASIO too. So it works for everybody. So don't sit there and be discouraged. Next, you have your input configuration, output configuration. Basically, you can select your inputs and outs. I have mono and stereo because I only use 2 channels. And then for my outputs, I only use 2 channels. So you set it up basically how many ins and outs you have. If you got like all these ins and outs, fucking turn them all on if you're recording a fucking band. If you're not, then I wouldn't fuck with it. And same for your outs. You got multiple outs. Configure it the way you is. I don't know how you got your setup set up. As if you got a bunch of, hardware or guitars or drums and all that record. Set up the way you want to and do what you got to do. Your hardware setup basically brings up it's going to bring up if I click that. Well, if I didn't have the ASIO link, it would bring up this right here, which is my mixer for my Sapphire, which I am currently not messing with right now. As you see, got my compressor not going off. But cool. So yeah, and that's just to set up your hardware to get it ready to work it needs to be. Next up is your sample rate. And I'll get more in detail about sample rate later down the road, but select yours. I'm using 441K or kilohertz, whatever we call it. And there's also definitely, you can choose 48 and up, depending on your interface. Like, it's not gonna let me select it because I have it locked in. So, But I'll go over sample rates and buffer size in a later video, another video. And then, you know, your pitch conversion, all that. Basically, this is we switched on high quality sample rate, Polarian, which activates for a new activation clip, blah, 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 blah. Basically, gives you high quality or low quality. I don't fucking know. You can have normal high quality. Why not use high quality? Because you know what? That's the whole point of the video. Anyway, your buffer size, basically, you know how much latency you will hear, latency portion, meaning how long it takes for input to be put in and it to travel through your interface into your computer to be converted and come back out through your speakers or headphones, how long it takes that delay. The lower the sample buffer size, the less delay you get, but the less plugins you can have activated. The bigger the sample rate, the more latency you hear. I mean, the more delay you will hear between inputs. But especially the more effects and stuff you can have going on. So basically, if you're recording, low buffer size. If you're mixing, high buffer size. That's all there is to it. Let's move on. And that's what tells you the milliseconds. So mine would be a 12 millisecond lag, which isn't bad. You know, especially I'm just making beats. I mean, it don't really matter. But you know, you can make it lower if you know you have to have that. Whatever. And then you can have your error compensation, so you can pretty much, you know, set up a compensation just in case you got to tweak it around. But overall latency, it tells you blah blah. So it gives you pretty good details if you want to get precise with how you work and how you perceive and how you get shit, whatever. And then you can have test tones. So basically, you can, you know, test your. Basically, what this lets you do is lets you test how much latency you can actually have on your CPU. So if you have like this right here, 512, you actually turn the test tone on, which is gonna make a noise. And then you can actually simulate CPUs. So if you want to see like, okay, how will my DAW react under full load, you can go to 100%, 80% low, just do 8%, turn test tone volume just up a little bit, and then it's gonna actually see, and this is what you do. You do this in order to test your, like I said, your latency and see if your computer start breaking up or, you know, messing up or glitching out. And I wish FL Studio had a feature like this, because that way, you know, because a lot of people don't know why their shit's glitching out, and they can find that right buffer size to compensate for that. But you do this, and you listen for if it's breaking up or, you know, the glitches and stuff you get from FL Studio. We had too much stuff going on, and you can see what buffer size you can actually work with under a full load without, you know, destroying without, you know, messing up your session. That's a very good thing to have if you're trying to get your interface right. You're wondering what's going on, why my thing's messing up, what's the glitches. That's a great way to test it and figure it out. So, you know, use that function to see if your interface or computer can even handle this whole damn software. So yeah, whatever. Sorry, I'm going to this pretty quick. You know how I do. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Next up, we have the MIDI. So basically, if you have your MIDI set up, you have different MIDI sources. I have both my Sapphire MIDI for my external controller, for my external hardware unit, which is the mini log. And I also have the Q25 MIDI keyboard, so you can set it up this way. You can have it set up the track, sync, and remote. Now, what you want to do, if you got a control surface too, which is pretty cool, set it up. So basically, if you have like I say, ins and outs, so I have input because input is, you know, from my controller, sending input into the computer. Output is basically receiving data from it. So I can actually receive data and send data in, which is pretty cool. You can have it track, sync, or remote. Track is basically, you know, as you hit the keys, it's actually, you know, tracking your movement. Sync is actually syncing it up to switch. I think like for live synthesizer and stuff like that, you can use that and it works. I'm not sure. Remote, basically, you can use MIDI data to control a external hardware unit. So basically, you have like a effects unit or a external, I'm guessing an external MIDI controller, whatever you want to call it. Not MIDI controller, but hardware unit that can take CC data, MIDI CC data. You can actually edit the actual, like, you can make automation clips inside of Ableton Live, and it will actually control your hardware unit, so you can get very precise movements. So that's pretty cool. You know, if you do that, if you don't worry about it. All you need to know, if you're like me or most people, have your inputs on, and if you got an external hardware unit, use that as well. Like I said, I got one, so easy peasy right there, nothing to it. Okay, files and folders, which is what a lot of people are gonna need help with. Basically, you have setting up your folder. So we got save, so you can save default, how you want to save, analyze files. Your sample editor, I don't have one set up, but if you have your sample editor, you can freaking set that up to where you need to go. Temporary files, that's what my temporary folder is. So, you know, if the computer crashes, it'll save everything to right here. Your application, Max application, which I don't have right now. Download it later, but I need to go and do that. I haven't did it yet. Then you have your decoder coach, which here you can limit the growth and decoding coach of your CPU running at free space. Leave that default. Don't fuck with that. And then right here, plugin scan. So this is where we need to really focus. So I have my plugins, all my custom plugins saved to one specific place. Definitely you guys need to set it up here. So wherever your default plugins go to it, have it linked up there. So that way all your plugins will pop up over here in this window. So plugins, you know, they're all in my external hard drive or my other hard drive. I have like 4 hard drives. And one of my hard drives, my VST hard drive. And then you can make sure you have use custom folder right there. And then you just want to hit rescan, and basically just like the FL Studio version where it scans your plugins and boom, finds them and it brings them up. That's basically like that. And you want to do that because, you know, if you don't do that, you won't see none of your effects over here. You'll be like, where's all my plugins? But make sure they're all in the same place. So I would make a VST folder and then install everything to that folder. That way it will find everything with no problems, no hiccups, no mess, and you won't have a headache, because it took me literally like 30 minutes to figure out what the hell was going on. So I had to reinstall everything or just move everything to one folder, and it was a headache. So yeah, there you go right there with that one. Very simple. Like I said, that's very simple. Now, libraries, this is all where your libraries is. Like I said, I have certain libraries for my stuff. This is all the Ableton libraries right here. So you ain't got to worry about that. That's all cool. So that's just Ableton libraries, which I have, and I don't even use them because I don't like them craps. They suck. But yeah, so that is that. Your recording, basically this is like for recording and rendering and all that. You have what type you're using. I would highly suggest WAV file. You know, if you can, just do WAV file. 24-bit, of course. You can have a count in, so how many times go do count in. That's up to you. Exclusively ARM and solo stuff, so you can ARM and solo it. Pretty cool. You have your clip update, so it updates the clips every how many bars, which is whatever. Recording session automation. I just leave that to ARM track, so I can only automate the ARM track. The playback is setup, same thing. The loop, audio sampler. Basically, this is just like random. I mean, I didn't mess with none of this stuff. I didn't even bother. So just leave everything in here default. But you definitely go in here and change it yourself. You got latch or trigger mode, which is pretty cool. So you can latch on the stuff or trigger it. You got your global stuff. Select the launch. Tap the tempo. Very good to have, you know, if you need to tap your tempo. So, you know, just basic stuff that you really don't even need to bother with. But I did make sure this is at least the first part is set up the way you got it right here. That way it's going to be the best quality. And that's like, let your count off depending on how you do. If you don't want no count off, that's you. But it's just for if you're going to record vocals or guitars or any type of recording, you want to have that. And then last but not least is the CPU usage. And I got multi-core support because, you know, I have multiple cores in my CPU. And then you can also do rewire if you have that, which I don't use. And yeah, that's it. And, you know, if you got multiple CPU cores, I mean, just have it on. So that's pretty much getting started with Ableton Live. Very simple. I know this video was a little bit long. And they're going to be long because I'm trying to go over as much as I can, explain, and help out as much as I can with these DAWs. So yeah. Very simple, very easy to get set. Like I said, tomorrow video will do more of an overview of every little thing. And then, like I said, we'll get into recording and adding tracks and deleting and blah, blah, automation, all that good stuff. So you guys can get up and running in Ableton Live and start making music. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because, like I said, the next day will be the next video part to this, and hopefully it will help you guys out and get you guys ready. So y'all know who it is. It is your boy Slim, aka Mr.Different, not motivated by money, but like, comment, subscribe, and views. And I hope this video help you guys get started. And guess what? I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.